buddies, what's up and welcome back to my channel. It's Bad Lori back with a speed build. And yes, I am aware that it has been a few minutes since I've posted anything at all. Well, you see, there was some technical difficulties regarding my depression and my computer dying, but now I'm back with better graphics and higher definition to show you a new and improved speed build. But before we get too into the build, I would like to take a minute to thank everybody who's remained subscribed to me during this break, and everybody who is already subscribed, and to those who continue to support me through this journey that is YouTube. And if you're not yet subscribed, I suggest that you do hit that subscribe button because my content is getting better all the time, and I'd love for you to watch me grow. But that's enough shameless self-promotion for now. Let's get into what you're here for. You came to watch me build a cottage, didn't you? I mean, that's what the video is called, isn't it? Hindquarter Hideaway Cottage. So for my long-awaited and highly anticipated return to YouTube, I wanted to come back with a build on my favorite lot in all of the game and all of the world. The Hindquarter Hideaway lot. Yes, in the back quarters of Brindleton Bay, hidden away with absolutely no neighbors whatsoever, is this little 20 by 30 lot. The Hindquarter Hideaway may be the furthest property from the water's edge, but the small fishing pond nearby more than makes up for it. It's nestled perfectly between the hills and the beach in the back part of the Cavalier Cove. Known for its hiking trails and sprawling coastal properties, Cavalier Cove is the perfect place to go exploring or chase seagulls with any adventurous pup. So yeah, basically I like this lot a lot because it's right between like the woods and the beach, and I feel like that's just kind of like a really cute and cozy vibe to have. Obviously, I went right in with the terrain and started putting a bigger hill into the middle of this lot so it could kind of replicate some of the hillier areas around it. I was going for kind of like some of those like sea cliff vibes, almost like what you would see around in Windenburg or near the end of the Delgado's lot where their property meets the beach. Where I live, we don't have any really hills or anything at all. New Jersey's actually like a very flat state, so I like to incorporate hills into my builds on The Sims just because it's something that I don't get to see a lot of in real life. When I started this build, I also wanted it to kind of have some more Frank Lloyd Wright vibes to it, where it's actually like looks like it's built into the earth and built into the mountain itself. Now, clearly, by seeing any of my other builds, I'm not skilled enough to do something quite like that yet, but I do think that I'm getting better and I'm getting closer. Also, on a side note, if I had the choice, I would totally live in a Frank Lloyd Wright house. They are absolutely stunning and to die for, and I just really love when you could see nature incorporated into man-made things like that. Just chef's kiss. Can you believe that we're nearly 3 minutes into this video and I'm still just working on this rocky terrain layer, literally just the beginning of things? This actually took me such a long time to do in real life. Believe it or not, most of this is actually sped up 12 and 16 times, and it's still a 30-minute speed build. I am sorry, I tried to trim out as much of the fluff as I could and speed it up as much as possible and still have it be something that you can watch and see what's going on. But seriously, y'all, why am I so slow at building? Like, I can see other people's speed builds and they make an entire mansion and they can like condense the video down to 15 minutes and it's like really cool and really watchable. And here's my 30-minute tiny house speed build. So I hope you all appreciate all the details that I put into this stuff. So you might be watching this and thinking to yourself, gee, Bad Lori, it's really tiny on top of that hill. That house just looks so small. How do you get everything in there? How is it walkable and livable? Well, you see, kids, the answer is I forgot to live test this house, so I don't actually know if it's walkable and livable and workable. I do also know, however, that it was very tricky to get all of the items placed inside the house. You will see what a sad small joke the living room is when we get to it. But for now, I'm just trying to say anything I can think of to distract you from looking at the abomination that is the roofing I did on this place. Also, as the house is right now, it's absolutely not big enough. I did have to add a second floor, and you're gonna see that in just a minute. So this is completely random, but I do need to know, for science sake. When y'all watch speed builds, would you prefer that I put some nice peaceful music on, or you could just relax and zen out to that while you watch my build? Or do you prefer to listen to me ad-lib like we're watching another episode of Interdimensional Cable on Rick and Morty? So yeah, like for the sake of science, let me know in the comments what you'd rather I do. Would you rather I continue to talk, or should I just be quiet and throw some music on and call it a day? Ah, yes, here we go. Here is that elusive second floor I was alluding to earlier. However, if you're following me on Twitter like a really cool person does, you've already seen some preview shots of how cute this second floor loft turns out. I actually want this little dilapidated room to be my bedroom. Hold on, did she say dilapidated bedroom? Yes, I did say dilapidated bed. You're gonna see how cute and dusty it is when we get there. So this particular house I've built for this particular lot because Brindleton Bay reminds me so much of like New England and that whole kind of like pocket of North America. So last June was my last trip to Connecticut. I'm not sure technically if that's New England or not, but anyway, for the point of this story, we're gonna assume it's part of New England. But while I was driving through the countryside of Connecticut, I just saw all of these beautiful dilapidated barns on these hills that had just like big beautiful windows all over the sides of them. And it just looked like somewhere I wanted to be at sunset or at sunrise. And honestly, it was beautiful. And that is a lot of the inspiration that I was like visualizing and thinking of when I built this house. Now, obviously not everything was like fully dilapidated. There was a lot of like intentionally weathered looking things up there and a lot of things that were beautifully renovated too. And that's kind of like the feeling that I wanted this house to have when I was building it. Like it's like halfway renovated. Some of the wood paneling in the walls is original from when this house was built. Some of it's been updated maybe like in the 70s or the 50s. Not really sure telling how long this has been a house versus when it was a shed when it was originally started. Who really knows the origin of this home? It was abandoned many times, but now it is the home of my sim self, Bad Lori Boggs, until I build her a better place or another place to live. Oh my god, that teeny tiny little bathroom. That bathroom is such a nightmare. Like, I should have just cut it out of the video altogether. Normally, I really love bathrooms and taking a lot of time on them to make them like luxurious and really feel like a spa inside. However, not only is that one small, but the shape is fucked. Like, why did I do that to myself? Well, the answer to that one is because I got a big old smooth brain, and because of that big old smooth brain, I also made sure that I fit a tub in that bathroom. Because I am a big lover of baths, I can't build a bathroom without making sure there is a bathtub inside of it, which is completely unnecessary for a bathroom that shape, but I did it. Anyway, more on that bad bathroom in the future. Let's talk about this little pond that I'm really kind of proud of. I thought that was super cute up there, and I was gonna try to go all the way around and make it into like an almost a moat, but that just wasn't working out. I was gonna have to move too many rocks, so we just left it on the one side there. And I actually really like it. I think it's super cute. I don't know why it's there or like what the natural reason for it to be there other than like the house is falling apart, but it's cute. So, you know, whatever, don't judge me. I don't know, it's like right there next to like the kitchen and the bathroom area too, so maybe this old house is leaking and has like a cracked foundation. Whatever the case is, there's a pond there now and it's cute. Yes, and I am indeed adding more bushes and flowers to this house. I honestly probably spent a good 4 hours just on the landscaping for this. Despite me being allergic to everything that is outside, I actually really like outdoors and the look of flowers and plants and foresty, greeny, nymph type of things. I know, that was a really educated and great description. However, I think you get the point that I'm going for. But for real, I wonder how many of these little thistle bushes I actually planted on this lot. Like, my rough estimate is going to be about 150 of them, like not even kidding, just because of the way that I layer them so much. You can never just put like 1 or 2 of something. I have to pick like 4 to 5 different objects and kind of like go crazy with them all over the lot to make it look like, oh, this is just what grows here. You know, kind of like how I had to take the dogwood trees from off lot and bring them onto the lot too to make it look like everything's a little bit more natural and flows together. And like, this hasn't been built by a person. Maybe this kind of possibly could have occurred a little bit naturally, some of this landscape. Intentionally unintentional is a phrase that I like to use to try to describe my landscaping style. By the way, I just thought of this now and I had to say it before I forget. This is already on the gallery, so if you do go to download this from the gallery, for the love of God, turn on move objects on. Everything in here is placed with move objects on. Also, you will notice when you go to check out Bad Lori's gallery that this is flagged with CC. There is absolutely no custom content in this build whatsoever, I promise you. All of my builds get flagged that way. I'm not quite sure why. I don't have any custom content in my game. That's not to say I don't have any mods. I have lots of mods, but I don't have any custom content like objects that would show up in the build or buy mode catalog. So I don't know why it flags it that way, but it does. So if you go to search this, you're going to have to include custom content in your search. Sorry about it. By the way, if anybody was keeping up with my 15-minute build series, during the in-between time where I was transitioning computers, I had lost the video file for the renovation of my industrial build. So unfortunately, while I come up with a solution to try to rebuild that house, which I don't know how I'm going to do it since I don't have the backups of my saves, I just have my actual saves, It's a complicated situation that the industrial renovation is going to be left out of the series, though, I believe. I will be continuing with the neutral build and the green build. I just really wanted to mess around with some of the new settings on my new computer, so that's why we're not doing that yet. But we will be back to those 15-minute series. Don't worry, I didn't forget. We will also be getting back to the Let's Play series now that everything's back up and running. Let me know in the comments below which one I should get back to first, which one you're most dying to see, whether it be the Tiny Island Living, Millionaire Black Widow, my medieval, or even 100 Baby Challenge if you're into that kind of thing. Ooh, so the area that I'm starting to work on here, I actually really like and think that it's just really adorable. So this is actually going to be like a little pseudo greenhouse outdoor planting area. I like plants, did you know that? So ultimately that whole little area gets filled out with the flower arranging table, the fizz station, and all of like the stackable planters and the cool new hydroponic planters, and just like a bunch of harvestable plants. And surprise, back to adding more plants to this. However, this time they're not going in the ground, they're going on the house, because what is a cottage without ivy and flowers growing all up the sides? My ADD runs really apparent through this entire build. Like, it starts off every 2 seconds of me going back and forth between plants, furniture, walls. Like, I can just never really stick to one thing. However, this time I probably spend like the most time on plant. No, that's a lie. I don't spend the most time on plants here, because literally every 2 minutes throughout this whole like build throughout the day, I just kept going back to plants. You can never have too many plants on a house, okay? It's the most important rule of building. As many plants as possible. Pretty much, when in doubt, add plants. Or the more plants, the prettier. Good rules of thumbs when building. Okay, and I'll admit, I definitely went kind of overboard with these roof accessories. Okay, not kind of overboard, like really overboard. It wasn't that necessary for me to put all of those green initiative things on the house. It doesn't need 3 windmills and 2 solar panels when the roof is already made of solar panels. There was just no reason for that at all, and I'm sorry. This house isn't even off the grid. I don't know what that was for. I guess if you do download this house, at least you'll get a nice generous bill discount. Oh good, 12 minutes in and I'm finally starting to add furniture. So here in the adorable loft bedroom that I plopped upstairs because there was no room downstairs for it, everything in here is supposed to look like antique, renovated, repurposed, all of those things, and I love it. I definitely was trying to invoke the vibes of a more authentic Free People anthropology, or Urban Outfitters if you would. Like when the Free People designers were trying to decide how to set up their new store, this bedroom was where they went to. If this bedroom had a scent, it would be brown sugar, vanilla bean, and patchouli. Why those 3 things exactly? Who's to say? I'm realizing now how much Realm of Magic stuff I really used in this house. Like seriously, this house is like 33% Realm of Magic, 33% Eco Lifestyle, and then like the rest is Laundry Day, I think. To be fair, Laundry Day is definitely my most used like build mode pack, and Realm of Magic's getting up there too. But definitely Seasons and Pets. I'm sorry, Cats and Dogs, because that's all we got in that pack, Cats and Dogs. Those are definitely like my top packs that I use when building. Honestly, I just use the same items in every build anyway. If you actually like go in and look at the houses like in my game, it just looks like somebody pressed shuffled on the same like 15 items again and again and again. But you know, sometimes that's just your taste. You like what you like sometimes. On that note, I am really itching for new like catalog items in the game already. I know Eco Lifestyle just came out and it had a lot of really cool stuff that was like really my style in there, but I just eat that shit up. Like Sims content, just give me more of it. On the other hand, now I have a more capable computer, so I might start using CC in my game. I might cross over to the dark side. Who knows? But back to the Eco Lifestyle items. I noticed the running theme through it. Obviously, it was like fabrication and stuff. So the fabricator items were a huge part of what came out in that pack. But I just didn't like a lot of the way that stuff looks. Like, I get it. It's supposed to be like simplistic. You made it with the 3D printer. But to me, it just looked boring. Like, I liked the idea of it, of making it in-game. It's a cool concept, but it's not furniture I actually want to use. So that's kind of disappointing that those were like some of the main items that we got from that pack. Like, to me, that was kind of like a big missed opportunity, actually. Like, I thought that you were going to be able to combine items more or less in there. From the way that I interpreted the descriptions that I read previous to the game coming out, clearly I misinterpreted a lot of things when I was reading about the recycler and the fabricator, when it was talking like, oh, you're going to be able to break down items and make them into new things. I thought you'd be able to do things like combine these 2 couches together and make like a cool Franken couch, but that's not what happened. So To me, the fabricator is just another missed opportunity, dead end, like the woodworking table was. I thought the woodworking table had a lot of really cool incentive to it or idea behind it, you know, build all your own furniture from scratch. But at the end of the day, there's just like not enough things that you can build with it. And the things that you can build don't really look that nice. I just wanted the things from Eco Lifestyle to have a much more handmade feel to them, and I didn't get that from the fabricator and from a lot of the stuff in the build and buy mode catalog, to be completely honest about it. It all feels very machine made to me, and it's not what I was expecting in that aspect. This bed with the patchwork bedspread and that potato sack chair are probably my two favorite items from build mode of Eco Lifestyle, simply because they are the only things that to me look like they were actually handmade by somebody, or, you know, upcycled or something kind of with that heirloom vibe to it. I just didn't get any of those feelings that I wanted from Eco Lifestyle. To me, that was disappointing. Not saying the pack was bad, it just wasn't what I had hyped myself to believe was coming. In that same vein of thought, I kind of almost feel like the people who designed the cast for Eco Lifestyle didn't see what the people who were designing build and buy mode made. Like the cast stuff, everything has more of that hand-me-down or repurposed, patched together type of feel that I was looking for. And looking at that stuff, I expected the build and buy catalog to be more similar. But, you know, at least Nifty Knitting's coming out soon. Not that we know a date, but it's now going to be late summer soon, and that's when we had originally predicted that would come out. So at least I have Nifty Knitting to look forward to in the future. I think a lot of the stuff from Nifty Knitting would look really cute with my build style. Obviously in this house, of course, not that there's any room for anything else in this house. Now that you can see downstairs and me actually putting furniture in it, you can see how truly tiny it is and how impossible this bathroom was to work with. I did a terrible job at it. I'm sorry. While we're in the bathroom, I'm going to ask EA in the universe again and speak it into existence. We need more shower tub! The shower tub is one of the most popular items to have in a bathroom in the American bathroom, and we only have 4 dismal options to choose from between all of the expansion packs that we have. I find that to be a little sad, EA. Honestly, swatch choices was one of my biggest struggles with that bathroom after size and placement. Once I kind of like configured where things were supposed to go, it was like, okay, but do I even like this color scheme? I mean, I guess brownish gray and gold kind of works together, but too late now, so it is what it is, and I love that bathroom. Just kidding, it's a nightmare I hate. And here is my teeny chaotic kitchen that I actually like the way it came out. I will say though, I am not a fan of the Harbinger counter or whatever you call this countertop. I don't like the swatches that it comes in, and I don't really like the doors on it. I couldn't find something that matched this kitchen. However, it is the only one that has the angled end pieces, so it's the only counter that I can make fit with the corner, the way the stove is there. So if you know of a different counter that also has those angled end pieces that I seem to have forgot about, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to have options to work with as far as countertops. Oh, and here's another part where I just struggle with proportions and sizing a lot. These top counters, you know, the upper level cabinets, they just look too big every time I put them in a kitchen, and I can't figure out how to like make that look better and more appropriate. But to me, they just look like bulky and gross, and they make all the kitchens look claustrophobic. So that is why, if you're wondering, I don't include them into my build. Also, I'm an old head and I've been playing The Sims since the beginning, and we didn't have upper cabinets until The Sims 3, I think. So sometimes I still forget that they exist. Also, it's not like The Sims have a limited number of plates that they need to store in the cabinets anyway, so it's not like they're actually necessary. And I know another thing that you're gonna say is, oh, but Bad Lori, you could just make the walls taller. But why would I want to do that? Anything taller than the short wall looks bad in my opinion, especially in a residential home, especially in a tiny residential home. So no, that's not an option. Like, I'm sure there's ways out there that actual builders with actual skills utilize medium and tall walls in their builds and make them look good, but it's not something that I'm capable of doing yet. So please bear with me while I learn. Offer some tips if you have any. Thanks! So my friends, we've made it into the living room. The teeny tiny crusty busty little living room that doesn't even have room for a love seat hardly. Why, oh why did I do this to myself? I'm old. I'm grown. I've been playing The Sims for 20 years. I should know that 2 squares is never an acceptable width for an entire room. However, that is how big I made this room, and now you get to watch me struggle try to fill it with usable things. Whoops. And I'm really wishing that I just made that TV work on that little white and wood round coffee table that I just had there. because what I end up putting in here is really bulky and extra, which I guess is me in a nutshell. I liked that little round table. I should have just made it work. Bad Lori. Hates upper cabinets and says they're too bulk. Also bad Lori. Shoves entirely too much furniture and plants in a living room that is only 2 squares wide. Just wait for it. Wait for it, because woo-wee, boys and girls, do I shove entirely too many plants in this last corner of the house over here. You're gonna think that I made the home with the intention of it being a terrarium or a greenhouse or just some kind of nursery, because there is more plants in this house than there is actual usable item. I think I use every plant and candle and fairy light I can find in the game in this teeny little corner of the room. Can you tell I'm a millennial? Can you tell I've had a Pinterest account before? Oh my god, hashtag plant mom. Welcome to the jungle is what I should rename this house. I think you're starting to get the picture. I put a lot of plants up in this bitch. I definitely sacrificed entirely too much usable space for plants in this house. I didn't even give myself enough room to put a proper couch in here, and I am still trying to shove more and more plants. Like, look at me, I can't stop. It's just plants, plants, plants. It's like plant vomit. Hopefully I come to my senses before I run out of room and put something that'll be helpful to my Sims, like a skill building spot or something to help them make more money in here before I run out of room and this entire house is swallowed by plants. No such luck, friends. I was able to add that easel in there before the devil's snare has entangled me once again, and I put more plants in a house in a spot where I could have put a computer or something else that could have been useful. But no, we ended up with plants and patchouli. No, seriously, I actually ended up putting the incense in that spot by the end of the build. So now that we're over 20 minutes into this and the house is looking like it's pretty full of furniture and details and decorations, you're probably looking at it like I am, like, gee, we're done. We're about there. But no, you're wrong. We did not yet furnish the outside. Remember there's that whole little garden area I made? Oh, we're gonna get there, friends. Don't worry. We're gonna get there sooner or later. After I'm finished preparing this house for my premiere on Hoarders, of course, we will get to the outside. But until then, I have to go through debug mode and place everything that I can imagine on everything that I can imagine, even things that don't necessarily require to have objects on top of them are gonna get objects on top of them now. I really just need to throw this out there too. Honorable mention, build buy mode, stuff pack, game pack, whatever pack, vampires. No, seriously, if you're looking for things that are like sort of gothic or sort of like antique looking or just really beautiful, vampires. You don't have to be into the occult side of it to be able to appreciate the build and buy mode that came from that pack. Also, it's one of the few packs that actually came with extra kitchen counters in it too. So that's great. Also, it is a contributor of one of the 4 shower tubs that we have between all of the games. So there's also that about vampires. I think I should have included vampires on my list earlier of top top packs to have for building and buying. That little gap under the stairs was like another bane of my existence while I was working on this. I just hate when you can see under the stairs. I wanted them to be pressed up all the way against the foundation, but for some reason with like the terrain levels, it just wasn't letting it work out that way, so I just had to shove more rocks there and hope for the best. And now we're finally getting to the lower level garden area that I was talking about before. Yeah, so this is basically going to be like a little like garden workshop down here. After I place more and more flowers on top of the more and more flowers, you'll see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we put all those little planters in, and then I have the flower arranging table and the juice fizzing station, and there's going to be bees down here, and there's like the little insect houses. So it's like a full-on nature center pretty much. And then adjacent to this little nature center I put in the yard is a cute little yard sale station. So you can sell the things that you make at your flower arranging table or your juice fizzer, or if you just want to sell your crops, you can sell it there too. Adorable. I love it. It's your own personal farm market. I'm not really sure why I included all this stuff into the lot, other than I think self-sustainability is important, and the ability to live off the land was something that I thought was going to be stronger brought to us in eco lifestyle. Sorry I keep harping on how disappointed I am about that pack, but I was really excited for it and I had high hopes, and well, EA did their EA thing, and naturally I am disappointed. It's now in this part of this video that I spend a really long time detailing the terrain paint around the little garden center and yard sale area. I really put a lot of thought into this spot. I'm not sure why I put so much thought into it, because as far as I can tell what it's all done, it didn't really make that much of a difference. I guess I just need more practice at terrain paint. But basically the terrain paint here is just supposed to be areas where the grass worn out, where the sim walks around a lot from, you know, the main house through the garden and then to the yard sale area. And yes, that large area between the planters is left green intentionally. Eventually, I put some fruit trees there. I'm pretty sure that I had just stopped recording before I really got into debug and went crazy with everything. However, I'm not positive because I spent 12 hours of recording. I'm not sure what I have here. But it'll be a surprise when you download the house off the gallery what kind of plants I planted in the garden for you, huh? Won't it be? If I remember correctly, it's pretty much just like your basic plants anyway, so you probably won't be too surprised. I didn't want it to be too cheaty and give you anything crazy like the death flower in there, so, you know, don't get your hopes up about anything like that. It's all things that you would have been able to find in the world sooner or later anyway. And here is the little yard sale section where I imagine my little hippie sim self selling all of the things that she handcrafted and grew in her garden and the honey that she cultivated and things like that. Right here, right in front of her property while people walk by from on their way to the beach to the pond or vice versa. Not that she really is going to have too much foot traffic back here in the most hidden corner of Brindleton Bay, but she can dream, right? I'm really looking forward to Nifty Knitting coming out because I just have a feeling that a lot of the stuff in that pack is going to go well with this house. Plus I want to put a rocking chair back here by the yard sale table. I just think it would go well, like she could sit there in the rocking chair and knit while she waits for, you know, passersby or whatever. I don't know, it's just a story I have in my mind about my Sims. Is that weird that I come up with all these stories, or does everybody do that? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, if you've made it this far into my build, bless your heart. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble for the last 25 minutes plus however long it's been. I've lost track. I've been talking for too long. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this where I talk too much or where I don't talk enough at all, let me know and leave some comments, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube things. And if you really want to make me happy, please roast me in the comments. I look forward to things like that. I'm sorry this speed build came out taking forever. I will try to cut them down and make them faster any way I can in the future. If you are interested in downloading this house or any of my builds, my name is Bad Lori on the gallery, just like it is here. And remember, there is absolutely no custom content in any of my builds whatsoever. Despite what the gallery says, I insist there is absolutely no custom content in these builds, so you will have to check that you want to include custom content in the search. I'm sorry. And for the love of God, turn on BB Move Objects on before placing anything that I build. So here you go. Here's some final looks at the space that I built for y'all to see today. Here's the kitchen living room combo going backwards and forwards from one end to the other so you can see all of the details and clutter moving through the house. And then we're gonna have a few stills of the kitchen, the bathroom, oh, more kitchen, excuse me. Now the living room, now the bathroom, and then we're gonna have a shot of upstairs, and I love the bedroom. And we have outside. And then another set of the garden, and then we're gonna finish off with a shot of the house. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you all so much. Have a great night. Bye!